All right, let's dive in. Today we're talking about something every marketer deals with, turning a mountain of data into actual smart decisions using AI. We're going to break down how to make that happen. And just so you know, everything we're about to cover comes straight from Chapter 8 of the tutorial from Virtualization Options LLC. So let's get into it. Does this sound familiar? You're practically drowning in data, right? You've got campaign stats, website analytics, social media numbers. It's everywhere. But turning all that noise into a clear signal, into something you can actually use, now that's the hard part. So to tackle this, we're going to walk through this really powerful framework called the Marketing Optimization Loop. Think of it as a 4-step cycle that helps you use AI to turn all that data into a real strategic advantage. We'll start with finding the story in your data, then move to testing your ideas, proving your marketing's value, and finally, forecasting what's coming next. Okay, first up, finding the story. Look, this is all about getting past those simple surface-level metrics, like open rates or click-throughs. The real magic happens when you ask AI the right questions. It can basically become your personal data analyst, digging deep to find the patterns that show you what's actually going on. And this is the secret sauce, right here. This is how you build the perfect prompt. Seriously, think of it like you're writing a brief for a human analyst. First, you give it context. What is this data? Then, you define your goal. What are you trying to figure out? You ask for specific insights like, hey, find any weird trends or anomalies for me. And this is the most important part. You ask for recommendations. This simple structure is what turns your AI from just a fancy calculator into a real strategic partner. So you've got these amazing insights, but they're useless if they just sit in a report collecting digital dust, right? They're meant to be used. And that's exactly what the next stage of the loop is all about, turning those insights into action with some really sharp, effective A/B tests. This slide just lays it all out so clearly. A vague idea like, let's test the landing page. That's going to get you nowhere fast. But when you take your data insights and put them into a structured prompt for the AI, it helps you come up with a super specific, testable hypothesis, just like you see on the right. It connects a very specific change to a very specific outcome, and it's all backed by your data. That's how you get results that actually mean something. All right, so you've found the insights, you've tested them, and you've gotten better results. Now comes the part that everybody cares about, especially the people who sign the checks, proving your value. And AI can be an absolute game changer here, helping you analyze your ROI and build reports that scream, hey, look at the real business impact we're having. But here's the thing, not all reports are the same. You would never give your CEO the same data dump you give your campaign manager, right? Of course not. The key is tailoring the message. You can literally prompt the AI to create 2 different reports from the same data. One, a high-level executive summary that's all about ROI and big picture goals. And another, a super detailed tactical report for your team to dig into for optimization. It's all about getting the right info to the right people. Okay, let's get practical for a second. Take a look at this table. It's pretty standard stuff, right? We've got our channels, our budget, how many leads we got, cost per lead, the usual. Now, if you just glanced at this, you'd probably think, wow, email marketing is crushing it with that super low cost per lead. And man, LinkedIn looks expensive. But that's only looking at the surface. And here's where the money is actually going. You can see the biggest chunk, almost 40%, is dumped into paid search. But the big question is that really the smartest way to spend our budget? To figure that out, we have to look deeper than just the number of leads or how cheap they are. And this is where the magic prompt comes in. Instead of just looking at costs, you ask the AI to analyze the ROI based on the actual customer value that each channel brings in. And suddenly, a totally different story appears. Yeah, LinkedIn had a high cost per lead, but guess what? It brings in the most valuable customers by a long shot. And AI can do that math in a split second and recommend shifting your budget to the channels that deliver the best long-term value, not just the ones that give you the cheapest leads up front. So, we've looked at our past data. We've optimized what we're doing right now. The final piece of the puzzle, the last stage in our loop, is looking to the future. It's forecasting. Now, it's super important to be clear here. We are not asking the AI for a crystal ball. That's not what this is. We're using it as a partner to help us build a solid, structured plan for what's coming next. And that's a really critical distinction to make. An AI-powered forecast isn't a guarantee. It's not a prediction. It's a model. It's a framework that helps you structure your thinking, pinpoint the key variables that are going to affect your results, and maybe most importantly, plan for different scenarios.
It takes forecasting from pure guesswork and turns it into a much more buttoned-up, analytical process.
So how do you actually do it? Well, you prompt the AI to help you build out that model. You ask it a series of smart questions like, hey, looking at our past data, what patterns should we be paying attention to? Or, we've got a price increase coming up, how should we factor that in? And even, can you help me map out the best case, worst case, and most likely scenarios we should be ready for? See, it breaks a huge, intimidating task down into a bunch of smaller, strategic questions. And, of course, the beautiful thing is, the loop just keeps going. The forecast you just built, that becomes the data for your next analysis. The results from your latest A/B test, that informs your next big report. It's this powerful, continuous cycle of getting smarter and better. You analyze, you test, you prove, you forecast, and then you do it all over again. So, let's wrap with this thought. All that data you have, it's already telling you a story. A really important story about your customers, your campaigns, and what's working. The real question is, are you asking the right questions to actually hear it?